Good morning, dear students. Today we have a topic to discuss process of branding. Under process of branding, we are having a 5-step brand relationship, brand attitude, brand image, brand association, and brand look. So, first one, brand relationship. It is the ultimate achievement need of branding. So the brand always expect a need to develop a relationship with the customers who purchase a particular brand, and they'll be coming again and again and purchase frequently. They become a loyal customer. Why it is going to be happen? In a sense, it is not only because of the quality and the performance of the product, but also how the brand or the company is going to maintain a relationship, either it is a service, either it is a complaint, or any other issue faced by the customers, and immediately, and how the brand is going to respond to the customer. It is not during a process of purchase, it is also pre-purchase and the post-purchase of a product from the customers. So the customers are going to evaluate the brand on the basis of the service provided by them and how they are going to maintain a customer's relationship. That is called as a brand relationship. It is the ultimate achievement of any brand, making customers happy. Next one is brand attitude. As I told you, the brand is going to talk about the attitude of the individual. So it is now what the brand thinks about the customers as per the consumers. Okay, so how they are going to think. So if I am using a particular brand, it is going to talk about my own personality. So if you are using one set of a brand, it is going to talk about your own personalities. That is how the attitude of a brand is going to be defined. And the next one is brand image. It includes two aspects, that is the association of the brand and the personalities of the brand. Association of the brand, we are going to talk about what are the features, what are the benefit, what are the attributes are inculcated in a brand. That is called as a brand association. The brand personality, you know that how it is going to reveal the characteristics of a brand. That is called as a brand personality. So if we are having brand association and the brand personality, that we are going to call as a brand image. And the next one is brand association. It could be a specific to attributes, benefits, or look of the brand, how the brand looks like, and what are the attributes, what are the facility, and what are the benefit having in a brand. It is going to replicate that. The brand association is going to replicate the benefit, performance, and how brand looks for. So that is called as a brand association. And the brand looks, which have a role to play in informing brand association, are facilitated by two key properties of brand: its name and its symbol. So how brand looks, we are going to recognize and we are going to recall a brand on the basis of brand name or by its symbol. So that is called as a brand look, how it looks like. Either we are going to look the brand in terms of name or in terms of symbol. That is called as a brand look. And the next one is brand symbol, two visual signals of the brand, that is character or the logo. So logo also we are going to call as a symbol, and the characters also we are going to call as a symbol of a brand. And the characters, in our next slides we are going to explain what is exactly logo and what is exactly characteristics. Characters, it may be animated one, or the live human being, or a live animals, anything they can set as a character of a brand. And the logo also, it will be having its own design, its own color. So we are going to identify a brand in the terms of symbols, that is a character and a logo. And next is significance of branding. So anyhow, the branding is having two importance aspect, the branding importance towards the customers and the branding importance towards the firm. First we take up what is a significance of branding in towards to the customers. So customers, for them it is easy to recognize, okay, easy to recognize, and the availabilities of the quality products, and it is going to minimize the fluctuations in the prices. Fluctuation means in sense, if it is an ordinary product, if it is not having a brand image, brand building, brand awareness, totally the brand, it will be fluctuating the prices now and then, but when it comes to a branded product, the fluctuation of the prices is very rare. So most of the time the brands are going to increase the price rather decreasing the price. Next one is improved packing. So it is always a high quality, attractive, convenient and durable. The brand is going to adopt the packing ability in terms of to maintain the quality of the product, attract the customers and convince the customers, and convenient to pack and handle it, and durabilities of a product. So in that way it is going to improve the packing. So product in the sense, or the brand in the sense, it is not only a performance and only a quality, as I told you. How it is going to help in making a packing also. Some customers are going to more happy, more delighted because of the packing style of the product itself. And mental satisfaction, brand always going to give a mental satisfaction to the customers with the high quality and reasonable prices. High reasonable prices in the sense, so they'll be going to pay a little high amount also, because that is going to give a mental satisfaction them. The quality and the performance is in that level, and that is not going to be received by any other products available in a market. That is called as a mental satisfaction. So these are the importance of branding towards the customers. Now we look for importance of branding towards to the firm, the organization itself. Easy to advertise. The advertisement to the products are going to be advertised using many media. So while advertising a product, you can associate a brand name along with the product. So it is going to make a more impact on the customer's mind, and it is going to induce the customers to purchase a product. And next one is creation of separate market. So creation of separate market in the sense, the brand is outstanding, the brand is unique, that is why I'm purchasing a product. That uniqueness and that premium product make me to stand ultimately make me to stand unique in a market condition, and that is why I'm getting attract rather than the competitors product. So what the uniqueness and what the premiumness I'm having in a product, it is not finding in a competitors market and as well as the existing market. So that is going to be created by the brand, and it is going to create separate market in the sense, how we are having a market identity for the Apple, market identity for your Dell, Samsung, Sony and all. So like that, a separate market is going to be created. Means if that particular brand in the sense, the customers are not going to have a second thought process, directly they'll go purchase it and they'll come back. That is the market created by the brand, by the company. And the next one is to get more prices. As I told you, even though if it is a quality and the performance is matching with the customers and people are delighted, even though if it is bit high prices also, customers are ready to purchase it. So these are the significance of branding towards customers and towards the firm. And next is, we're having branding challenges and the opportunity. Challenges are like competitions, okay, competitive pressures and wars have lead to the few difficult situations, like brand proliferation in the sense, it is extension of your product line. What you are having a product line in your company, it is an extension of a product line, but it is in a different brand name. So that is called as a brand proliferation. So even though the product is going to be get failed, or the company name is not going to be hurt in terms of brand proliferation. So the competitor started extending his product line by giving a separate brand name for a separate product. And next one is customer revolt, or the consumer revolt. The customers are not happy with the product and services, they are going to be revolt with the company. And next is retailer power. Retailer power in the sense, retailer, we can see many retail outlets nowadays. Retailers are very boom in a marketing environment. How people are going to make an impact on customers, because they'll be having a direct contact with the customers, and they may influence and make an impact on purchasing decision of a customer. So that is also possible. And media cost compared to those other days, now it is very much less expensive. Some companies are affordable it, and they can avail whatever the media's facility and media benefit they want to give advertisement or create awareness about the product, they are availing it. So in this competitive environment, bit challengings and risk are there for branding. And some of the opportunity, online shopping we will have another challenges. So online shopping is different from traditional marketing or traditional shopping. It is going to take us into the separate environment. They are going to make available of the product and the brands in time and from all over the world. It is not having a boundaries actually. When you are doing a online shopping, it is a boundaryless activity. You can reach the customers all the corner of the world, and information and interactions are going to be happen in a real time. So it is not purchasing the product, taking a feedback of the customers, and later part we are going to make a modification of the product. It is not like that in online shopping. Instant messages are going to be exchanged between the seller and the buyer, so that is going to be provide a real time information for the organization. Based on that, they can modify the outlook on the quality performance of the product, and consumer can choose among the brands which meet their criteria. As I told you, when they are in an open market, they'll be having a chance of making a comparisons of different product with the different brands, and what characteristics and what features are best suited for them. They are ready to opt for that particular product. So these are the basic challenges now the brandings are facing. Okay, so next is opportunities from technologies. Actually, opportunities in the sense, it is going to respond to the customers rapidly. Okay, and it is going to minimizing any delay in supply chain. So as I told you, it is going to cover the worldwide customers, and how this particular brand and the company is having a relationship with the logistics. Also, logistic is going to play an important role by supplying product and services from one place to another place, one boundary to another boundary. Because of the technology, again, the supply chain of a particular product and services is not going to be delay for the customers. If they are demanding for the product, that is going to be available on a real time basis. And next one is more sophisticated buyer in the sense, they need a better information system. Okay, who give more information, who give real time information, and who are ready to attend the queries of customers immediately. For them, the buyers are ready to purchase it. They want a seller attention, means buyer wants seller attention towards to a buyer and addressing all their issues and the complaints. So that is also one of the opportunity. Okay, so when we are adopting a technology and when we are having a dynamic marketing environment, definitely we are going to attain the customers on a real time. And growth of corporate branding, definitely playing an important role here. They are going to unifying their portfolio of the brands through clear leakage with the corporation, which clarifying all those lines brands adhere to. So one brand name will be there. Take example of the Kellogg's will be having a Kellogg's corn flakes, Kellogg's honey and the cornflakes. So many flavors are there. So the Kellogg's will become a corporate brand here, and under that we are associating a different names for the product. Okay, so that is also growing now, and it is going to create a growth for the particular brand. And next one is shift from advertising to promotion. So advertisement is viewed as a long term for brand building investment. So developing a content, delivering that in a effective media, choosing a media, everything is a long process. So rather advertising, the promotion is opted by the brands actually. So in favor of promotion, which generates more quicker and the short term results. So these are the significance of branding, the challenges and opportunities actually. So we discussed that, and next we are having um, branding challenges, opportunities over, and next is concepts of brand management. So these are some of the concept you need to know what exactly the brand concepts are. So we are having brand building, awareness, recognition, loyalty, association, personality, stretch, identity, image, communication, equity, and the brand positioning. Let me check out one by one now what exactly it is. Brand building means developing a brand image and standing with the view of creating long-term benefit for a brand awareness and the brand value. So creating an awareness about the availabilities of the brand in a market environment, that is called as a brand building. Company here trying to not to make a sale of a product but exactly creating an awareness, so that is called as a brand building. Next is brand awareness. So brand awareness is probability that customers are familiar about the life and availabilities of the product. How customers are familiar with identifying or knowing about a particular brand, that is called as a brand awareness. Some of the benefits of creating a brand awareness is that is it is going to create a sense of familiarity. Awareness is going to be create a sense of familiarity among the customers, and it is a signals of presence and commitment, and it is assets that are remarkably durable to the company by the customers. So customers are asset here. How frequently and how familiar the customers are, they will be become an asset towards the company. So that is called as a brand awareness. How consumers are familiar about the particular brand. And brand recognition, awareness and the recognition having a slight difference here. So that brand awareness means probability of the consumers are familiar about, here ability to recognize the brand. So how they are familiar about the brand and how they are having a capability to recall your brand, that is called as a brand recognition. Because many brands are there, many products are there, why customers are really purchasing your product and services, that is the recognition. And how ability of the customers are there in order to recall your customers and in order to recognize your brand. So that is called as a brand recognition. Don't get confused with the brand awareness and the brand recognition, it is two different concepts. So the probability of consumer familiarity is the awareness, and the recognition is ability of the consumers to recognize the brand. And the brand loyalty, you people know how frequently the customers are purchasing the same product repeatedly, so that is called as a brand loyalty. And brand association, it is the benefit, it is the attributes, and it is the performance what the brand is promised to give to its customers. And next is brand personality. As I told you, brand is going to talk about the character of an individual customers. So that is called as a brand personality. It is going to speak about, it is going to be behave like a particular characteristics of a person. So that is called as a brand personality. And the next one is brand stretch. So brand stretch in the sense it is extended with the new product category. So we are going to, so we are having already a product line, and we are having we are going to add one more product line, that is one or two, that is up to a company actually, that is called as a brand stretching. You are going to extend the product line, but it should not go beyond the limit which is going to dilute its essence only. Some customers are going to be forget what exactly these companies are providing, so that diluting nature should not be there. You can stretch your brand, but it should not be having a diluting concept. And the next one is brand identity, that is visible elements of the brand. It may be a color, design, or the name. And the brand image, that is current view of the customers. listen carefully, it is a current view of the customers about the brand. Either they are having a positive image or they are having a negative image. So what exactly, how exactly they are looking for the towards the brand, that is called as a brand image. And the brand communication, whatever the modification, whatever the renovation you are doing towards the brand or the product or services, that need to be communicated to the customers. So how effectively the communication process is happening and how they are going to inform their customers on a regular basis, that is called as a brand communication. And the brand equity refers to marketing effects and outcome. It is going to refer the marketing effects and the outcome that occurs to a product with the brand name compared with the product and did not have the brand name. So what is the marketing effects and the outcome of marketing of your branded product with the product not having a brand name in a market, that is called as a brand equity. You are going to make a comparisons of outcome of your own brand and the product with the other product available in a market which is not having a brand name. More the output, more the brand equity, less the outcome, less brand equity the product will be having. And the brand position, as I told you, it is going to mean the customer, the company is going to make place in a customer's mind or in a psychological process, and how they easily recall and recognize the particular brand, that is called as a brand positioning. So these are some of the brand elements. And next we have types of brand element. Under that we are having a brand name. So it is one of the major element of the brand which is going to play an important role, and it is going to be key association of the product in a very compact and economical fashion. Most difficult element for marketers to change. You cannot change the brand now and then, because it is going to make an impact on the customers. They will be getting confused, either it is the same brand product or a new brand product, anything you can anything, any element. Before making a changes towards the brand element, the company should think twice. It may going to make an impact on buying decision of the customer. But brand name is also one of the top one where the company cannot change it frequently. Okay, that is a brand name. And next one is logos and symbols of the brand. So as I told you, logo is also a symbol, and symbol, it is going to talk about what represent the company is going to do. So we are not having a much difference between logos and symbol. I'll just show you the example of logos and symbol here. So which is symbol and which is logo. It may be a logo and it may be a symbol sometime, or it may be a symbol or it may be a logo. It may be a symbol or it may be a logo sometime. Interchangeability is going to be happen. So logo which is going to be some, it is going to talk about company, product, or it is market. And so symbols also, it is going to be talk about its company, what it is all about. That is a slight difference between logo and the symbol. And the next one is elements of the logo. We are having some of the elements in logo. Actually it should be having a lasting value in the sense that is going to be exist for the long term in a market environment, long life in a market. This logo also not going to be changed now and then, like a name, brand name. So brand name is not going to be changed frequently, and the logo is also not going to be changed frequently. And it should be having a uniqueness. It should not be copied one, and it should have a appeal to a target customer. The convincing capability should be there. Supports of unique selling position and legible one. Logo should be legible one, and it should be understood by the all customers what exactly the logo of the company. And next is characters and the slogan. So some company or some brands are going to use a character in association with the brand symbol or the brand logo. It may be sometime a human, or a real life characteristics, or sometimes it is animated also. So that characters we can associated with the brand. And the slogans are the short phrases that communication descriptive or persuasive information about the brand. So check out here, these are some this is some what is that character, this is character human, this is human, this is animated one. Okay, and these are some taglines, as I told you here, characters and the slogans. So slogans are this one, so Subway, wheat, fresh, and Nike, just do it. Okay, so these are all some slogans, they are going to be associated with the logos. And next we are having a jingles. It is a very attractive part of your brand. It is a musical message written around the brand. Okay, so some examples, and it is going to enhance the awareness of the brand by customers, and it should be a catchy hook and the quotes that become permanently registers in the mind of the listeners. Correct, and I just quoted an example here: Amul, utterly, butterly, delicious, and Nirma we have in the olden days, that is doodh se safedi, Nirma se ai. So that jingles they'll be adding. And Airtel is the very good attractive music we had. And Kingfisher we had attractive, that ulla la la ulle. So that those examples related to jingles. And how these jingles are going to remember customers, and that leads for remembrance of the brand. So that is called as a jingles. Next one is packing. Also packing is also going to make more impact on customers, because the packing means it is identification of the brand. It is going to convey the descriptive or persuasive information about the brand. It facilitate the transportation and the protection of the particular product, and aid for product consumption. So you just check an example here, the watermelon and the orange, it is written there. If you purchase or something related the product, something more made by the watermelon, the product something made by the orange, product that something made by the mango. So that is how it is going to give a descriptive and persuasive information about the product. So the packaging, definitely it is a both perspective, in both perspectives of the firm and the consumer, it is identification of the brand. And last concept we have functions of packing here. So functions of packing, in the sense it is going to help us in identification and making differentiation from one product to another product in a market, and communicates product message. As I told you, if it is packed with watermelon figure, the product is made up of watermelon, like that. And implementing repositioning strategy, promote product. The major intention of the packing style is promoting a product by itself, without the involvement of a salesperson. The products are going to be promoted by its attractive packaging. And next one is attractiveness of the product, effective sales tool. Packaging is also considered as effective sales tool without any human sales force there. And the next one is product convenience. According to the convenience of the product, without making any damages to the product, we are going to make a package, so that we can protect the product safely, and we can deliver the proper product to the customers. So these are the functions of packing. Very important concepts here. So the elements of the brand, and concept of the brand, and processing of branding. So any doubts, you always ping me. We'll discuss in a next class. Thank you.